Hello, people. Thanks for joining your boy. This is Murray G with something adding to the rules for enlightenment and self mastery. Today, we're going to talk about loving thyself. Love thyself. So, let me explain it this way. To love yourself is the true form of acceptance of oneself. Accepting every part of you, regardless of what you find. Perfect love uproots fear. Fear is the essence of the dark side of the force, or dark side. Therefore, love is simply turning on the light and being able to see everything in its true form and still feel good. So, what does that really mean? Look, everybody has something about them that has derailed them, put them in bad situations in life, bad thought process, negative conditioning, whether it comes from your household growing up, bad choices you're making on your own, ill thinking, substance abuse, every form of abuse, you name it. But that's where the work comes in at. Being able to see yourself completely for who you are. And that's what assumption that you did the first step, which is knowing thyself. When you understand yourself completely, that's when we come to the second step of loving yourself from what you see you are completely. That means being kind to yourself. That means being patient with yourself as you start learning how to deal with the things that you found that you may not be fond of. And that takes time and practice. I remember one young lady I was having a counseling session with, and she was going on and on to the break of dawn about the kind of men she wants to deal with and talking about the issues she's had with them. And after hearing her go on with some of it just really being nonsense, wisdom kicked in, and I did something to prove to her that her focus needs to be redirected to herself and stop dealing with these guys. She needs to be her best version first and start doing the work so then she can have a better outlook when it comes to dealing with men. So while she was going on, I pulled out my phone on the low, turned on my camera, and made sure that it'll be in the selfie side as if I was going to take a picture of myself. And then I just interrupted her. I said, "You know what, sweetheart? The only person that you need to be showing love to and giving proper attention and caring for is this person you see right here." Bam, held up the phone, let her see her own image, and she got uncomfortable and started turning away. She couldn't even stand the sight of herself. The one person that she is with 24/7, she couldn't stand to even see herself. Why? Because she sees the true parts of her that needs some work. And instead of doing the work, she rather runs from it. So, of course, she'll put up all the clothes and the makeup and all this jazz to try to hide the pain within, and the anger, and the bitterness, and the etc. Couldn't even stand to look at herself. So think about this. If she couldn't stand the sight of herself, how can she stand even being herself 24/7? Something to think about. And that's the whole point. Getting to that place where you're caring for you and it's not based off what other people think about you. Accept those you know have your best interests, who care for you and wants to see you win in life. Outside of them, you shouldn't be caring what anybody else think and trying too hard to impress individuals who ain't even thinking twice about you. So in this case, I haven't talked to her in a long time. I hope she started doing the work. But at the same time, we all have our seasons, I suppose, when it's time for us to really make it happen for ourselves. I think some people never get there just because they keep trying to run. They run on that treadmill, the treadmill of their life. So they're moving, but they're going nowhere fast. Let's not be those people. So I just wanted to encourage you to take the time out, assuming you did number one. If you haven't did number one and you want to get more insight on that, go back to Knowing Thyself. Listen to that podcast and then come to this. And I gave a little bit more breakdown with that. But this is probably the hardest part. Accepting yourself regardless of all the good and perceived bad about your character. But this is the step that's going to get you to coming out of that broken state. And we all had brokenness, myself included. These are the things that I had to do. And affirmations is definitely what helped me do that. And what I'm going to do is read an example of what I did to help me continue to love myself daily until I got to the place where I didn't need to read it anymore because it was just in me. I remember writing this July 5th, 2017. I was at my brother's apartment. He lives in LA, staring out the window, looking at the mountains. After a bad breakup, destroyed my soul and everything in between. I didn't have all the answers then on what needs to happen, but I did start with this. And this is what I'm going to read to you. This is what I wrote that day, that early bright day with the sun coming through the blinds. I called it the pledge. Today and every day, I will focus only on my daily task. I will objectively assess and bask in my daily victories. No war is won overnight. I will fight my daily battles with the right heart and mind in spirit. I will accept and learn from my losses. No longer will I beat myself up. I will love myself the same as I love my daughter. I will honor myself with kindness, compassion, patience, understanding, and encouragement. Today, I give myself permission to not be perfect. Today, Shamari accepts Shamari, flaws and all. My growth will continue. I'll keep becoming a better man, but this time I'll enjoy and be at peace in the journey. It's okay. I'm okay. I will only speak positive of myself and to myself every day. And I, over a number of months, looked at myself in the mirror and spoke this to myself. So faith, words of light can go inside me to drown out that darkness. I said every day, looking at that person in the mirror, that other individual, to keep him encouraged, to bring him about to the state of where he wanted to be. I wasn't where I needed to be at that moment, but speaking these words of life brought me to the place of where I wanted to be. I had to see that thing, see that man as if he already existed, even though he didn't in that moment. And being consistent with that belief and speaking those words and looking myself dead in the eyes, taking my time, is how I got there. And you can too. So I hope that tidbit helps somebody in this regard, just to give you something tangible to do. As always, like, subscribe, share, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Good night, and grace and peace to you.